doesn't matter anyway. 'Cause I can take you any day. I can kill you many ways, yeah. Fuck you. I've got a store inside the mall. If you want some swords, just call. My number's 1-800-12
Hey everybody, how's it going? We are back. We're here with another episode of Music Mondays. So, here we go. Let me, really fast, I'm just gonna send out a tweet, let everybody know. Okay. Go. And then gotta make sure. And gotta share it on the band account so everybody can see there. Okay, cool. So now that's done. How's everybody doing? So, what I've decided to do today, rather than starting something new, is I'm taking a session from before I was what I would consider relatively good at engineering. I wasn't like the worst, but I definitely didn't know what I was doing in a lot of respects. And this is a session that like I tried to do a whole lot with, and so there's a lot of mistakes and there's a lot of mess ups throughout this entire thing. So we're just gonna take a listen to what this sounds like. I have no idea whether or not it'll sound reasonably okay or not. My guess is not, based on everything that I'm seeing so far. But yeah, let's just take a listen. Let's see what it sounds like. There we go. Okay, so we can already start with that. So as you can hear, there's a lot of stuff going on in here, a lot of tracks that are sort of getting buried and not coming through super clearly. You can kind of get what's going on. You can kind of hear the vibe of the song, but there's a lot of mess to clean up. And if I'm being honest, the structure of this entire thing, this entire session is kind of messy. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to try to make this We're gonna try to do this in one episode. So, first things first, we gotta look at what we have. We got our drum tracks. Those are at least color coded, so that's not bad. Go old me. We got our drum subtracks or subgroups. And they're already parallel compressed. Go me. Okay, so our bass has a subgroup, and we had a spot for vocals. I don't know. I guess I planned on putting vocals to this at some point. But there's nothing on there, so we're gonna get rid of those for now. Our guitar does, or there's the guitar subgroup. I don't know why that is there. So we got a subgroup for these three things. Hey Lonk, how's it going? So we know we have it for these three things, and to be honest, drums, bass, guitar, that could probably be enough for this song. So before we do anything, we've got to establish that those are the three main important things. This is a triad. This is drums, bass, guitar. So we have our subgroups here, and let's see if we've organized most of everything properly. Yeah. What the fuck? Okay. We'll have to assess some of this all at different times, but let's see. It goes in bus 5, 6. Let's rename some stuff. This seems like small work, but trust me when I say that it makes a pretty big difference. This stuff should all be going through guitar bus. Yeah. And then why is that muted? Oh. And then we're gonna rename this drums. There we go. Okay, cool. So everything is more or less going through. So we know we more or less got a funnel structure going here. And as you can see, the way Lane, who couldn't afford Superior Drummer, did things was very, I guess you could call it crude, but lined up samples, lots of noisy stuff. So one of the first things I want to do, instrument track. We're gonna throw in some Superior Drummer stuff. Bus, put that through the drums. Now let's see, multi-channel plugin, instrument, Superior Drummer multi-out. So we're gonna pull up Superior Drummer so that we have this. What are our options? Bell brass. Okay. Yeah, we're good on that. Okay, let's see. Let's see where we're. Okay. So. Is this it? Yes. Okay. Sweet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create, how many tracks? Let's see. Kick, 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 snare, snare, snare. Tom, 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 tom. Hi-hat, overhead. Two. Forgetting anything past that. We're gonna create 16 just in case. So let's go through and first and foremost get those colored correctly. We're going to name them. Right there, you know what? As I'm watching, I'm slowly dawning on me how many mistakes I've made that I didn't even know I could make. I'm sitting here like impression right. And here's the thing: you just gotta realize that like you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna do some things that are good, some things that are bad, and that's okay. None of it's all art at the end of the day, and frankly, nobody should be telling you that you're doing things. Nobody should be discouraging you from learning or trying to do things and doing things badly because I'll be honest, there's a ton of time if I had been deterred when I was doing things badly, I probably wouldn't be making music or engineering if I'm being honest. So I'll explain just a second what I'm doing. Okay, so all I was doing was I was naming these tracks based on the inputs for Superior Drummer that happened. That's, you know, kick in, kick out, kick sub. Kick in is the mic that goes inside the kick drum. Kick out is the mic that's right outside the kick drum. Kick sub is an occasional thing where you'll have like a sub, a mic that picks up sub frequencies. There's a few different mics that do this. They're like speakers that are turned into microphones because, believe it or not, speakers and microphones both have the same capabilities to do this. Like the what's it called? Diaphragm. They both have diaphragms that like move whenever sound goes through it. And so the idea is that you can turn a speaker with a massive diaphragm into a microphone so that it takes sound in rather than putting sound out. It's really interesting. But yeah, we got our snare top mic, snare. This is like a dynamic mic that's also in the Superior Drummer stuff. That's not usual. I usually don't put 3 mics on my snare, so that's probably less realistic. But snare bottom mic, rack tom 1, 2, floor tom 1, 2, hi-hat mic, overhead left and right, and then 2 room mics. There's also a couple of those extra tracks now. Something I'm also going to do is I'm also going to create 3 stereo aux tracks. These, which also I need to make sure that all of this is gonna go. Make sure all of this is going to the drums. Boom. Okay, so I'm gonna rename these aux tracks. Aux 1 is going to be our kick subgroup. Oh. Next one's going to be our snare subgroup. And this last one's going to be our tom subgroup. so that we can sort of bind those together. Gonna change the color. Boom. Let's move that there. And then let's move this one there. That there. Cool. So now that we have this, we can let's see if I remember how to do this. There's a key command. No, that was not it. Let's try that again. Yeah, okay, that's it. There's a key function to make sure that everything you've selected goes through the same thing. So like if you select multiple tracks and you want them to have the same input, you just hit like, it's on Mac it's Option Shift, but on Windows it's Alt Shift. But if you want to like here, for example, where all these inputs are like consecutive line up, you know, like this is 3-4 left, 3-4 right, 5-6 left, 5-6 right, something like that, where it's sequential. You can hold down on Mac it's Option Command Shift, and then it'll do that when you select the input for the first one. But for Windows it's Alt Command Shift. So I'm still learning how to transfer some of the key commands over. Okay, cool. So let's see. Let's get these bus, boom, rename. Gotta rename that kick sub, or kick subgroup. We're gonna get these to feed into that. Same thing with this snare. Also gotta make sure that it's constantly soloed so that signal's always going through it. Gonna do the same thing for these snares. Boom. Rename snare. Oop. Bus 13, 14, and then rename. Cool. So now we've pretty much got. Ooh, come on. Wait. Why did that undo? What? Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I want that. What the? Okay, hold on. Okay. Dang it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with that for now. I didn't mean to rename that one thing, but I did. Oh well. Okay, cool. So we got that. Let's see if we can get this to work. So we're gonna open up our MIDI editor. Where's that? Oh, it's over here. What the fuck? That's a strange place for that to be. Why? What the fuck? How do I... Get rid of that? What? Okay, right here. No, don't do that. God, Pro Tools is really, I will say this, Pro Tools is really fucking frustrating to like move around in Windows. I cannot stand it. Um, well, that's a problem. Mixed Windows views. MIDI editor. There we go. We can work with that. Okay, so cool. So now that that's done, let's take a listen. Let's make sure. Okay. So we're getting sound. Let's take a listen. Make sure. Let's make sure all the elements of our drum thing are properly coming through. And then and let's solo these. Well, that's weird. Okay. What? Okay. That was strange. Let's make sure it's coming through on all. That's coming through on hi-hat. That's weird. Okay. $17, $18 left. So what we're doing right now is we're making sure that Superior Drummer is properly set up. There we go. So now overhead left and right are in the right spots. This is 9, 10 left. Okay. Gotta change that up. 11, 12. We're just switching around the inputs, making sure that we get the correct setup, because the idea is we want to make sure that everything's feeding into the right track. There we go. I think this is. Let me double check. We can refer to this. Let's see. 1920. Okay, okay. Cool. So generally, my assumptions were right. 1920. 21, 22. I think everything else. Okay. Get rid of this. Cool. Yeah. So everything's pretty much set up. Cool. Now that we've got the tracks properly like set up so that they're basically ready to start programming, we're going to get rid of that. And what we're going to start doing is we're going to start examining where the hell. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start examining some of what's going on here. So we're starting on measure 11. So we got to fix the drums first and foremost. This won't be too hard. We're going to start. We're going to start with this. All we're going to be doing is let's get rid of those room mics for now because we don't really need them. And I think that's take that and so yeah, you can hear how some of these drum samples aren't well done, aren't well processed. They're kind of just thrown in there. So let's see. Okay, I think I get what's happening here. So we're gonna do that, then we're gonna erase that one, and then we can copy and paste. Cool. Okay, so ends at measure 19. All right. So we're kind of gonna go drum beat by drum beat to fix this. Okay. And I'm gonna make some slight adjustments when I can, because obviously earlier me didn't have as good of a sense for drum beats as I do now. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds really bad. Oof. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Let's see what's happening. That one. We're gonna bring it to 32nd note. So let's see how we're only doing kick and snare right now, so let's see how this sounds. Nope. Okay, that's pretty much right. We'll kind of do the same thing. Let me actually change it back to 16th note so I can see stuff better. That, and that. Think instead here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it slightly. It's a little clear what's happening. Oh god, that's just a really fast. Yeah. 32 times, okay. Cool. So what I'm doing here, the reason why I'm changing slight things is unless an artist specifically requests it, like unless an artist is trying to do something that's meant to be like a studio only like thing, one thing that you should always keep in mind as an engineer is if they're gonna play the song live, Is it realistically possible? And that can be played by some people. That right there, that can be played by some people. I don't expect a good chunk of drummers to play that though, without tiring out and it destroying them. So instead, I'm going to do this. 8, 16, boom. Here we go. Oh. One more time. There we go. Okay. Because that part was easy enough. I could just go ahead and do that. Okay, let's take a look at what we got going on for toms. Tom 1, Tom 2. We only got 2 toms. Okay, so let's do ourselves a favor. Let's get rid of rack tom 2 and floor tom 2. We don't need those. Okay. Trying to find where floor tom 1 is. Well, hold on. Need to make sure my routing for floor tom 2 is right, because apparently it's not. Let's see. Floor tom 1 is 13, 14 on the right. Oh, that's not okay. Hold on, I gotta fix some stuff here because of the way that I set up drums. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see where I was making some mistakes. Boom. Okay. 9, 10, 12. Wait. What the fuck? Okay. Hold on. That's weird. Let's do 11, 12. We're gonna mute rack tom 2 and floor tom 2. See about that. Okay. And then get rid of floor tom 2 there. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now let's take a look back to where we were. Okay, now that, come on, dude. That's a problem. Wait. Maybe instead. Yeah. Yeah, let's get rid of these two instead. Ractome 2 can go boom there. Sorry, I'm making adjustments just to make sure that it all works out properly. 15, 16. Left, and then this one is going to be 13, 14. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's try this. That's better. I think I like that. Okay. Okay. Gonna put that there. Okay. And I think that trying to find the point of repetition for this. Okay. Put that there. Okay. Okay. There we go. Add that there. Boom. Cool. Put that there. And then, okay. So I think that we can... Let's see. Oh. Cool. Make sure that get rid of that. I'm getting rid of all the stuff that's like unnecessarily playing on top of other drums so that, you know, someone doesn't have to play like a million different things at once. They just announced the Car Seat Headrest video game. Hopefully they can get it on the Soldier game. That's right, he makes like bootleg Nintendo systems, right? I forgot about that. Okay. Cool. So hopefully, let's just hear let's hear this beginning section. Okay. So obviously that sounded really weak. So here's what we're gonna do. Gotta take it. And we're going to listen to just this. And we're gonna do we're gonna do some work. Every single one of these is gonna need an EQ. So I'm going to insert an EQ in every one of these things. And I'm also going to insert a compressor on every single one of these things. We're going to start with that. And we'll work our way around. So first and foremost, I'm gonna get rid of all the crap we don't want. High pass. Okay, there. Cool. Gonna do a similar thing here. Let's copy and paste. Gonna get rid of everything above a certain range for this part. Now let's start compression. It's about where we need to be. Turn the ratio up. Tack all the way up. Release all the way down. Same thing for this one. It's a little boomy. Let's bring down this. There we go. Now we're gonna add cool. You're not joking. Hold on, I'm gonna take a look at this, Thrillby. Okay. That's amazing. I'll have to look more into that after the stream. Gonna take it one thing at a time. Now I can press it. Oh, excuse me. low cut this. And then we're going to subscribe with Twitch Prime. Oh, thank you so much, Thrillby. I think are you our first subscriber? Hold on. Oof. Whoa. Hold on. Yeah. Wait. No, not that. I think. No, there's been subs before me, I think. I need to check on who all are subscribed to us. But thank you so much, Thrillby. Appreciate that. We're still figuring out the emote stuff and whatnot, but we're definitely gonna get on that soon enough. All right, let's take a listen. So now, in context, let's see how that sounds. All right. Cool. And we're going to continue along doing this pretty much for the rest of what we can figure out. We're not going to worry about the rooms yet. That might be partially. Okay. So now we've started getting a handle on that. What I really want to do now is I really want to start getting a handle on something like the bass. It's sloppy playing, but get rid of that. Okay. So it feels like there's some less than ideal interactions between what's going on with the toms and the bass. So we'll have to work on that. Okay. But for now, we're gonna deal with that. Let's see, what is let's listen to some of these guitar tracks. Okay, that's the lead. What is this one? Okay. Have we got a fun thing here? So, a mistake that I was making earlier in my recording career was that I, for some reason, recorded guitar tracks in a stereo out of my Line 6 pedal board that I had. So, that's a problem. We're going to split these into mono. And as long as, yeah, okay, cool. Cool. Let's get rid of those. Boom, boom. Yeah. And then we're going to take that. Now, for some reason, I didn't dual track a lot of these guitars, and I'm not entirely sure what process was going through my mind, but as you can see, it's definitely not a very solid thought process. Okay, that sounds a little funky. No, don't do that. There we go. That's why. There's all these fucking plugins and these gates and whatnot that are on this thing. No, insert, no, insert, no, insert, no, insert. Let's get rid of all these. Remove, because I don't think that these are helping at all. Now we can already hear how different these tracks are. So we're gonna get to work. Presets. Let's start with metal rhythm. Let's see. Okay. I wanted to try out that neutron thing because I've never did it with that. But let's start comparing some EQ curves. Let's get a low cut. And we should get rid of those drums for now because what we're doing right now is to the best of our ability, we are EQ matching. Which can be very hard and very difficult to do. But we're doing it. Okay. EQ match. Let's do this. Let's start default. Start EQ match, run audio through the plugin. Okay, so we're gonna do that with this one then. We want to. people. Okay. So now we're gonna try to we're gonna mess with some. Let's mess with tape saturation. See. I'm gonna basically be messing with a few different. Yo, what? Oh, okay, there we go. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm just messing around right now because I'm trying to find a way that we can improve this. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get some. There we go. That's not too bad. That's a decent start. It's what we need. let's mute all these other tracks. Make sure that those are not in our way right now. Because we're just trying to get the bare minimum of stuff working. Hold on. Something's not right. I mean, that might be the problem. Okay. Cool. Now let's see about the lead. I put so many plugins on this just to make it sound decent. Now I'm able to do a whole lot more with a whole lot less, which is kind of the goal, you know? I think I have to go for a bit. Do you think you could tweet at me or something when you start looking at submissions? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll tag you in a little thing whenever I'm switching over to submissions. I'll probably be reviewing those around 4 o'clock. Because 4:30 is going to be my cutoff time for Music Mondays. I'm going to stream for longer, but I'm going to switch over to something else later. So, yeah, 4 o'clock is whenever I'm going to do it. But I'll tweet. I'll tweet and make sure that you know. Okay. Now we're going to take this. Now let's see about a compressor. Actually, I have an idea. Let's try Smack. Okay, so now something we can do is we can go ahead and create some effects buses. We're going to create 4 just in case we need them. This one, we're going to reverb, and the input for this one is going to be boom, that, rename, and then we're going to drop in a reverb plugin. Thanks, the stream's been good. I just gotta go. No, yeah, I get you. You're all good. Gonna bring the room size down just a little bit. Increase the reverb time and the balance to more at the tail end. And instead, we're going to get rid of that. Actually, while we're here, might as well remove all of these because we don't need them. And then remove that, add sends instead. And our first send is going to be to our reverb. Okay. Okay. Cool. So now, let's make this one our drum reverb. And we're kind of gonna put something similar on there. Oop. I'm gonna move all those. Just gonna move this one to right here. Also, we can probably fuck with this room track a little bit. So let's do that. Start with this one room track. Mute. Reverb. Okay. Why is that not going through? Oh yeah, that's right. I moved the fader down. I'm a dummy. Okay. So now that we've done that, there we go. Leave a little room for the guitars on the edge. A lot of people like to hard pan everything all the time, and it can be it's good for a lot of different stuff, but you want to make sure that you have in mind what kind of image you're trying to paint for people. And for a lot of things, your guitars are going to be on like the farthest reaches of it. Okay. What was this one? Okay. So we gotta split these into mono. Delete. Split these into mono. Delete. Okay. Now I'm gonna take this. Let's see how drastic of a change. In fact, yeah, let's do this. I've got an idea. So we can eliminate that. We'll take this. And what we'll do is we'll add same EQ and compression as that one. Nope. And We're gonna mute that. We're gonna see how this sounds whenever it switches over. Let's see. No, that. Yeah, I might have to just instead. Guitar Harmony 1 is what I'll probably label it as. And I'll probably put it like huh? Oh, that's probably why. Okay. So that we can hide and make inactive. Mute that. Okay. Okay, so I can mute that. Let's see. Let's hear it from the start. See what we've got. Nope. Not that. Yeah. Okay. We're getting somewhere. This intro part is we really gotta clean this up a little bit to make sure that it's okay. Cool. So we made a little bit of progress. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Finish the rest of my coffee, which is now cold, but I still should drink it. I'm gonna go and walk around a little bit, take a break. I'll be back at, I'm gonna say 3:20. But yeah, in the meantime, definitely check out our Patreon if you haven't. And I'll be back in about 20 minutes. I'll still see you guys then.
I've got two swords and I am gonna kill I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah. But it doesn't matter anyway, 'cause I can take you any day. I could kill you many ways, yeah. Fuck you. I've got a store inside the mall. If you want some swords, just call. My number's 1-800-12. Fuck you. I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah. I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah. But it doesn't matter anyway, 'cause I can take you any day. I could kill you many ways, yeah. Fuck you. I've got a store inside the mall. If you want some swords, just call. My number's 1-800-12. Fuck you. I've got two swords. I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah. But it doesn't matter anyway, 'cause I can take you any day. I could kill you many ways, yeah. Fuck you. I've got a store inside the mall. If you want some swords, just call. My number's 1-800-12. Fuck you. I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah. I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah. But it doesn't matter anyway, 'cause I can take you any day. I could kill you many ways, yeah. Fuck you. I've got a store inside the mall. If you want some swords, just call. My number's 1-800-12. Fuck you. I've got two swords I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah. But it doesn't matter anyway, 'cause I can take you any day. I could kill you many ways, yeah. Fuck you. I've got a store inside the mall. If you want some swords, just call. My number's 1-800-12. Fuck you. I've got two swords and I am gonna kick your ass. Don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with that, yeah.
Alright. So, now that I've had some time to walk around a bit, let's take a look. So, we've taken care of getting a starting point for the drums. We got a starting point for some of these guitars. We can start getting rid of some of these things. So let's start purging. Let's start. Hey, Overzealous, how's it going? Not much. Just today's whole thing has been that I'm taking a session that I recorded before I really knew what I was doing that much. And I'm trying to salvage things. And the basic lesson here is just you're gonna get tracks as an audio engineer that are going to be less than ideal. And you're gonna have to sometimes just work with what you're given. And so the kind of the goal here is to provide an insight into like the process of like making use of quote unquote cheap tracks, because a lot of these some of these tracks were recorded with a Line 6 pod that I had, but most of the guitar was recorded, believe it or not, through a Line 6 Spider 3 combo amp. So take that for what you will. But yeah, how are you doing, Overzealous? Okay, let's see. What is this track? Okay, we definitely don't need that one. So we can delete that. Okay. Where'd the bass track go? Did that? Oh, okay. Oh, it's right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's take a look at the bass here because it's a little boomy. Doing well. Just watched Final Fantasy 15 lore video for almost 3 hours. Hey, yeah, those lore videos are pretty cool. I kind of wish that the game had explained it without the lore videos, but yeah, Final Fantasy 15 has some parts I really like, some parts I really don't like. Not a huge fan of the game personally, but yeah. Let's see. We can cut out all of this. Let's I want to try something. Pro compressor. Let's try this. Let's get this right there. Okay. There we go. I really enjoyed the game DLCs, but sometimes at the story stuff outside it was so necessary. Apparently, the last few planned DLCs were going to be totally retcon the ending, so I'm kind of glad that they weren't made. But yeah, I really like the idea of going back and to the old mixes. Yeah, I agree. I think that my favorite parts of Final Fantasy 15 were some of the backstories, if I'm being honest, and I don't know. There's a lot that there's a lot that went on with Final Fantasy 15, and whether or not it's a good series is a whole can of worms to open up. But yeah, I think that this is kind of what I really wanted to make sure and do something like this, because because it's not just useful for your old mixes. It's also like I've worked with people who I worked under people who got tracks from like engineers who had their name known in the industry, not like a dude who's just kind of like known in the local scene as an engineer, but like someone who's like made like not alternative charting like records, like really popular records that people think of as iconic, and they send them tracks that are like, what the fuck is this? And sometimes you just gotta work with that, you know. Let's put that there. Cause yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cause that track's a little bit cleaner, so. Let's mute that also. 'Cause I don't think we need that track there. I think that this one is a little out of tune, so we'll let that one be short. Ooh. Oh, what was the other one? Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, let's take this track for example. This is a solo track, so it's very important to the entire thing. So there's a lot you can do with these. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing, is that like it can be really useful. And you know, there's more modern tools that we have now. Like we have EQ matching with like FabFilter, where you can like match the EQ of like of if you can match the EQ of a track so that you can put it onto another track and like have it like match similarly. That's why like if we go back here, a good example of that is here up at the beginning. There's this there's kind of this issue of if we remove EQ and everything, which I should get rid of that and that. So there's an obvious oh, I need to, oops, desktop audio was off. Okay, now it's back on. So a good example of what I was talking about, overzealous, is like right here, for example. At the beginning we have these two guitars. One sounds like that, the other sounds like that. A little lopsided sounding. And but what you can do is you can work some EQ in some very subtle ways to compensate, and then when you compress them, it's not perfect, but you can get it. And it ends up sounding a little bit better. So now we're going to go and we're going to fix this solo guitar track. So first things first, EQ. let's add some tape saturation to this. And then something we can use to bind it together a little bit. Add some reverb. Oh yeah, that's right. Reverb's on now. Let's take another listen to that. There we go. So as you can see, it requires a lot more work on the end of like EQing things and whatnot, but what is that? Try that again. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Trying to make sure that I get the right. Variant. Yeah, that's okay. I think for the most part I can mute the rest of all this stuff. Knock knock, thank you so much for the Twitch sub, for the Prime sub. Dude, the ads are so long. Yeah, the ads on Twitch sometimes are so annoying because they're just a little too like they're long enough that like you're like, okay, ad, and then like at a certain point you're like, my fucking god, how long is this? I agree. I hate those ads. EQing this is like spicing up a pre-made meal. It still goes a long way. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thing you have to like look at it as. Actually, hold on. Let me make sure. How long is this going for? Okay. Okay, cool. But yeah, yeah, I agree. I think that you can do a lot with just some simple EQing and compression, and like a little goes a long way. Okay, yeah. And obviously, like here, there's gonna be some stuff like editing work that's gonna need to be done, which is a lot more tedious and a lot more. It'd take a lot more time. But I'm not gonna quite go over that, just because my goal here is not to get you to a finished mix on this thing. My goal is to get you to a point where you can hear everything to a degree where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this sounds like something that I can form into a solid mix. That being said, let me okay. So right here, I really wanna I'm gonna take the moment, because the one thing we have left to sort of like flesh out are the overheads on the drums, because we haven't really quite gotten to that yet. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that we have that kind of like figured out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, oh, not that. Wait, yeah, actually, yeah, I am gonna take all that. Okay, so with this kick and drum, with this kick and snare pattern, I'm going to take it and bring it over to the very end. What measures? Where's the... Okay. $135. Okay. bit past it. $135. Measure 135. There we go. Cool. Okay, let's see. There's a crash going on. So we're gonna start there. Actually. Oh. Not that. Wait, why is that? Oh, okay. Boom. Unmute this crap. See, we can already hear some like undesirable stuff in our overheads right now that we're gonna be able to cut out and work with. Because overheads have to be handled very particularly. Not that. Don't do that. Boom. No, what? Why? Why are you not copy and pasting? There we go. Okay. Cool. So let's just hear what it sounds like. Haven't really done a ton with the. Let's just go through and change some of these velocities so that they're not all the same. Boom. Bring that down. There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's just lay down the drums and hear what it sounds like. Mitino, so good. Thank you. Okay. So now that we got that, let's just take a listen. And we're gonna get the last few bits of this drum kit that we haven't messed with. So first off, the hi-hat. Something y'all should all realize about hi-hat constantly is that it is designed to cut. I mean, most cymbals are, but hi-hats will really cut through. And if you're not careful, they will sound fucking awful. So we're gonna take this hi-hat section. And granted, I like to go in and make sure that the velocities are like varied enough that it sounds natural. But for this, we're just trying to get to a starting point before we get down to like the nitty-gritty stuff. So first and foremost, get rid of some of this low end. We can probably afford to lower it a little bit. We're gonna drop it down like right there. We're gonna mute that reverb really fast so we can focus on the drums. First thing about overheads, I don't need the low end. I don't need any of that. We can get rid of that. I like to get rid of a little of the harsh frequencies that are going on. Don't do that. Nothing too intense, you know? Do the same thing there. Kind of unrelated, but wondering, was Classic J inspired by When You Wish Upon a Star? It wouldn't surprise me. I couldn't answer that question for you though. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I mean that wouldn't surprise me if so. Okay, cool. So okay. Why is that there? Him. Okay. Gotta make sure our tracks are put in the right spot. There we go. I do make the connection now that yeah, exactly. I was thinking about Classic G Doesn't Go to Hell, and I'm like, I can see the similarities. Did you go to school for audio engineering specifically? Yeah, I started out as a music composition major and a piano major, but I eventually realized I didn't want to do that, and audio engineering was something that I had kind of done, but not really. I had recorded tracks before, but I never really actually tried to put my mind to it. And so I wanted to learn something new, and it turned out to be really fruitful for me. I remember for the first time listening, I was thinking, oh, cool, Disney-like, and then the screaming at the end brought it all together, and I was yeah. Hey, Thrillby, we're almost finished up here, and then what we're gonna do after we get done with this is we've got a couple of tracks, one from Thrillby and one from Lonk that I want to listen to and give some feedback on for our mix critique thing. If you don't know, there is a submission form. It is pinned to the top of my Twitter profile, sillyboyart at sillyboyart on twitter.com, and the submission form that's pinned there is something that you can submit a mix for me to critique or look over, or if you're just stumped on something and you need some help, you're more than welcome to send me stems also, and I'd be happy to take a look at it and see if there's something I can do. Now, I will state this as a disclaimer for all of this. Remember that if you have the option to tell whoever recorded this, hey, these tracks are really bad, you really need to do a better job making sure that they're consistent across the board in their settings. You should do that. But you won't always have that opportunity. And this is mainly for that situation. So some of the critiques that I give sometimes might end up being hey, I can do something with this, but the best solution will be to retrack some of the stuff. That might be sometimes what I give as advice, but I'll always try to make sure that I can give as much advice as I can on what is present in in the thing. Now I'm worried because my song's like 9 minutes long. Oh, don't worry. I probably won't listen like straight through the entire song. Because I was listening to a little bit of it last night. I'm gonna like go to like certain sections and talk about certain things and whatnot. Because my goal won't be necessarily like a whole breakdown, but to give a little bit of advice on certain things. And like, compliment where like things sound really cool and whatnot. But yeah. Cool. So let's take a listen back to this section. Because I feel like we can afford to turn up the guitar if we can get that level just right. Scott Zentano, hey Scott, how's it going? Yeah, I can see that. I'll say this. I like the instrumentals that Census Vale comes up with a whole lot. I can't say that I was like an overall as much of a big fan, but I definitely liked some of their music, and I really liked what they came up with instrumentally as a band. This? Oh yeah, this needs to go down. Wait, was it this one? Yeah, this one does need to go down a little bit. Okay, so yeah. Just to give y'all some perspective, this is what the old version sounded like. That's yeah. Old Young Lane liked a lot of reverb, but yeah. And I don't have the drums mapped out for that because I didn't have the time to do that. But you can hear in comparison also the And yeah, it's a very dry, it's a very basic starting point. It's not meant to be a complete mix replacement for what I had there, but this will at least give you more options starting from here because you'll have a little bit more control over things. You have a little bit more natural sounding drums, and the guitars themselves are EQ'd in a way that at least leaves a little bit more room for everything to be heard, while not like clipping, because there was some clipping in the old mix. But yeah, nice. That's a hell of a difference. Thanks, Overzealous. What do you do with these old tracks when you update them? I have not. So all these tracks are pretty much like I haven't edited them necessarily, because my entire goal was like while I was doing my internship, there were moments where I would there was specifically a moment where we were handed tracks from a well-known engineer who had a name for himself. This wasn't like some random dude in a small town. This was a guy who had a name for himself, and I obviously won't name names because I don't want it to become like a drama thing or anything like that. But the guy sent us tracks that were just like bad. They were just bad, and the performers were good. The performers were good, but some of the tracks sounded really bad. They had done some processing to it before they sent it over, and they just didn't sound good. Now, my whole thing was that like that's a pretty rare situation with like experienced audio engineers, but sometimes you deal with smaller acts who have to cut somewhere in their budget, and sometimes they don't have the time to get like super amazing tracks, and you are sometimes hired as a mix engineer and handed tracks that are like not that great or subpar. And so the whole point here was like taking this, figuring out what we can do with them. Now, to give a simple breakdown, because I'm gonna move on to the mix submissions that I was sent recently. But to give a simple breakdown, an overall breakdown of this whole process, all I did was I started with Superior Drummer. If your drums don't sound good, and you need to save time, use something like Superior Drummer. It's a little like it costs a bit of money to get it, a couple $100. But like mine is 2. Mine's not even the updated version. Mine's not 3, it's 2. And I just I threw those in, mapped them so that they match whatever's going on here. And I'm given so much more control over these because they're a lot drier and they don't have all this processing already on them, like these samples that were kind of just like dropped in here by young me who didn't have anything at the time to do something better with. And once I had that going, I used that as a starting point. I did my basic like mixing of like the drums. I added some simple EQ to each one, and then I added some compression, make sure it was all at level and what I needed, get it sounding good. And from there I kind of made sure that like my usual funnel system of like tracks going into subgroups was organized so that I knew where everything was going, and I knew exactly I could operate faster than I would have been able to if I had just abandoned all of that process. And then I went in, listened to the guitar tracks, separate the stereo ones into mono, because for some reason I recorded tracks in stereo whenever I was younger, and that's not a good, you shouldn't do that. Just record your guitar tracks in mono. Like there's no reason to make them stereo. It makes it a weird, more complicated process. But I found which guitar tracks worked with the track and which ones I didn't like really have a use for or thought were that good. Cut out the useless ones, put together the ones that I did find a use for, and in the moments where it was like in the beginning here, you can hear an audible difference if I take out all the processing. You can hear an audible difference between this and this. But it goes from sounding like this to that. And using just a little bit of EQ and compression, I was able to make the guitars sound a lot more like each other, like they were tracked in the same space using the same stuff, which is the goal. You want your tracks to sound a little bit more consistent usually, unless you're going for a really varied sound. I arranged the tracks where I could, and then I just found a point where a bunch of instruments were going at the same time. In this case, it was the clean guitar, the rhythm guitars, and there was like a section with the solo guitar that it did. But I made sure that all the important tracks sounded good and were reasonably EQ'd and compressed, so that whenever you play it back, you at least have the starting point to start working on a mix. Rather than what we had before, which was, there's so much boominess and mid-range in that's just hard to deal with. Whereas here, I had to do a lot of work to get it to a workable point, but now I ostensibly have a way to make a half-decent mix of it. Now, am I going to do that? Truthfully, no. I'm probably going to go back and re-record this song whenever I have more of a use for it, but I just wanted to show y'all what that's like to take some really cheaply recorded tracks. Like I said, some of these were done with a Line 6 Spider 3 combo amp. You could recreate everything that I actually paid money for outside of Pro Tools for this stuff for less than $500, and even with Pro Tools it's like less than $800 for like all the equipment and everything. So at the end of the day, bad tracks are not the death of a decent mix, but it definitely will make it a little bit harder. It's like Overzealous said, put some nice spices and preparation into a pre-prepped meal, and you have something that's a little bit nicer. Put a few ingredients into that ramen, those instant ramen packets, and you can get something pretty nice. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually going to listen to some Music Monday submissions. I have a submission form now where if you mix something or you are recording something and you want either mix critique, a critique on the mix / feedback, or you want to get some like active help on mixing the tracks, you can send that over to me, and I am happy to take some time to give some feedback on it, do what I can to help. Now, sooner or later, I am planning on, I want to do this. I've had this idea for a little bit, and what I want to start doing is I want to start creating some more Music Monday stuff that is not necessarily Glass Beach stuff, and get it all tracked and get it all ready as like a song, and then right before I mix it, put the stems, the processed and edited tracks out for people to download for free and make their own mixes of, and do this all before I've actually mixed it, so that y'all can like take lessons that you've learned here or other places and mix your own thing, and then have like a deadline where you can submit your mix, and then we all just have like a show and tell day of like our different mixes of the same song, just because I think that would be very cool, and it'd be a cool way to learn, and even like maybe catch some things that I don't know, because that's the cool thing about art. You could end up doing something that sounds way cooler than what I did, you know? So starting off, the first submission we have is from Thrillby, and who's been in the chat. Let's see. A machine spoke to me. So yeah, this song, the song is 9 minutes long. So start to finish, I don't know if I'll I won't listen to start to finish necessarily, but I'm just gonna listen to it, kind of like pause it at certain points and like talk about it where I can, you know. So let's take a, or actually hold on, let's do this. Let's do this so that I don't have to worry about Google Drive messing up on me. Cool. let's save this, and then we're going to open up and create a new session. I'll create it from a template. Okay. Okay. Well, wait, no, not that. Don't do that. I need to be. There we go. Okay. Downloads. Here we go. Okay. Let's let it load in really fast. The build up. Let's get to You know what this reminds me of, kind of? Hold on. What is it? It's there's a track. There's a group that this sort of reminds me of. I'm trying to. What is it? The Hoover Network. Yeah, Something Heavens is kind of what this reminds me of. A lot bigger sound. Okay, yeah. I like this a lot. I think that it's a very full sounding like song, and I think that above all, what I'm liking so far is how you can hear. It kind of does sound like an alien mega factory. But yeah, I like how full it sounds so far, and I like that there's a lot of there's a lot of clarity in everything that's like present. Like you can hear pretty much everything that's going on. The two things that I would say so far is, and this all depends on what you're going for. What I say could be entirely irrelevant to like what your goals are. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I think that if you have a section like with these drums here, for example. I think that there can be a little bit more done to have a little bit more impact to the drums, and something like I'm not sure what specifically you use to get the drums sounding like this. I don't know if you just compressed the drums themselves, or what specifically you did, but something that might help with that is you might have something like parallel compression put in there, just because it sounds good. But I think that you could afford to add some more impact to the drums, make them a little bit more like just in your face. And the cool thing about parallel compression is that you can sort of dial that in and out and blend it as you will. So if you have a section where you're like, I don't want the drums to be that harsh in this section, you can kind of draw them back a little bit and have them be a little bit more or a little bit less compressed sounding. But then in sections where you really want them to be aggressive, you can do that. And I like to do New York style parallel compression, which all that is you send all your drums to one subgroup, and then you have a duplicate of that subgroup, and they're both the same. But on the second one, the duplicate that you made, you add a compressor and you just compress the shit out of it. You make the attack as slow as possible, make the release as fast as possible, bring the ratio down to like 7 or 8 to 1, and don't soften the knee at all, and then just bring it down and have it like just compressing the crap out of it. And then what you do after that is you add an EQ where you boost, you use some shelf filters, and you boost the highest filter and the lowest filter. So you're increasing like the lower like sub frequencies and like the really high frequencies. And at the very end, I like to add sometimes I like to add some tape saturation, because if you add just a hair of tape saturation, it can make the impact sound even more aggressive. But I like everything that I'm hearing so far, and I think that in some spots there could be afforded a little bit of give in the mid frequencies, and there's a few ways you can do this. The way I would suggest maybe doing it for some of these is like you can get like a multi-band compressor, and like in some of these find like the right spot where you want to do it, and you can just sort of like bring it down just a little bit, and then and all that'll do, that won't like the goal of that is that like some spots that like that whole fullness is really good, but sometimes when you want to like draw it back, if you use something like a multi-band compressor, the good thing is that you can make it to where it only like keys in at certain moments. I would say play around with that a little bit sometimes, but yeah, like I said, everything sounds really good so far. And those are the only thing. Those are the only two notes that I have. Let's see. Second half. Okay. Let's find the second half then. Okay, so let's okay. I do want to ask Thrillby, is the clipping that you're doing there, is that intentional? Was that an intended goal for you? I just ask because I know that can, like, for some people that's a goal, some people it's not. That's the thing, is that all my advice I really want to hinge on, if your point is to make it something, I don't think that's in this song. Yeah, maybe that was my playback engine. Yeah, I think that's my playback engine messing up. Hold on, let me listen to the read. Yeah, my bad. I have to use a weird playback engine. I have to use a weird playback engine thing to make sure that my audio comes onto stream, so it's sometimes weird. I'll listen to it through my media player, and if I need to demonstrate anything, then I'll go into Pro Tools. I think something that you could do here, I think both the little arpeggio thing, the and the keys that have just entered around this section, I think that you could afford to try going in and finding some spots where, like, there's where they're both taking up like similar spaces. And there's a couple things that you can do. Sometimes I like to, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take a compressor and I'll sidechain it so that it only compresses down one signal whenever another one's active. So, like, I'll give you an example in context. If I have bass playing and it's playing at the same time as the kick drum, like in the same rhythm, the kick providing the initial power to it, I'm going to have the bass like compressed a little bit whenever that kick comes in. So what I'll do is I'll sidechain that one compressor on the bass to the kick drum, so that whenever the kick drum hits and that lower frequency where the bass drum is also kind of like taking up that space, it'll get pushed down just a notch, and it'll come back up immediately, like once the kick drum's waveform kind of dies down a little bit, so that it's not impacting the bass's tone at all. It's just slightly creating a pocket of room for that. But I would say for those two instruments, like right in the mid range, I would try to do something just so that there's a little bit of separation from them, and they don't feel they feel less like they're on top of each other in some spots. If that makes sense. vocal stuff. I love the pulsing kick that's going on. I really think that's powerful. That feels good, and I think when you can really feel the subs is whenever you've got like a really powerful track, especially like whenever it comes to electronic stuff like this. I think there could be a little bit more reverb to blend the vocals into everything, just a hair. But I love what it's adding to it. I love the vocal stuff that's going on there, and the synth that you could either add some reverb, or I think that also something that might do the trick is adding like a vintage exciter, or like just a general like exciter. So adding some like adding either like tapes, a little more tape saturation, or like lo-fi like a lo-fi filter and whatnot. I think either of those things, just a touch more of that, could really help it blend in with everything that's going on. Yo, that coughing with the lo-fi filter stuff that I was talking about, it sounds bad. I think that with a lo-fi filter, that coughing section does actually sound really fucking dope. If you aimed for it sounding like sort of like a very old rough AM radio kind of sound. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think everything that you have there is entirely like something that could be really cool. I think that the whole track, like, you could put this track out now and I think it would be good. Like, I would already say that track is good. And all the suggestions I gave are oh, it's already out. Okay, awesome. Yeah. See, this is a good track, and I would say the only things, the suggestions that I'm offering are less corrective things, you could say. They're less corrective things, and they're more they're less corrective things, and they are more just things that are they're artistic choices, and like I said, all the stuff about having the vocals blend a little bit better, or have the drums have a little bit more impact, all that stuff's just artistic stuff. As far as like a good mix, that's good. That was a really good track, and yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. So thank you for that submission. And next we have a track from Link. So let's take a listen to this. It is an MP3, so I don't know if I'll be so there'll be a little bit of file compression on it, but that's fine. I don't think that'll affect too much what we're listening for. Hell yeah. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that track, Thrillby, just a heads up. But yeah, keep at it. That was a really good track. I agree. I'm very glad that you submitted that. Okay, so Playback Engine's game weird. Hold on. Let's boom. Do that. Okay, yeah. It's just gonna be weird. Oh well. Okay. No worries. Let's take a listen to Link's track.
Choose your character.
These motherfuckers trying to come at me. I don't throw hands, I
Just spam down beat.
Moving so fast like I was wave dashing. I am Fox and you fuckers are Kirby. Wait. Kill you fuckers like you were my Tamagotchis. Punch y'all in the face as if you all were Nazis. And I got a higher streak than in Black Ops Zombies. And though I am annoying, you fuckers cannot knock me. I'm rocking, I'm popping. You fuckers is rocking. You don't understand the shit that I've got.
You try to stand up straight, but now you're falling down too late.
I just want to say this like very much has this track reminds me of like it fits really well in like the geek core kind of like stuff. Kind of like I can't remember the name of the group right now, but the Completionists band where they like write songs about like just video game stuff, or non like some of I know that her presence is controversial to some, but similar to like how Digibro or DigiNay now approaches some of that stuff. But yeah, I like the video game reference. I like what's going on here. The only thing I would say so far is I think that you could layer your vocals a little bit more. It's a good a lot of the processing that's going on, like the octave stuff for the vocals that's going on, and like the synths and whatnot, they sound great, and the vocals sound well placed. I think that you could get more of a wall of sound type deal going with the layering of vocals. Because I mean hell, there's some sessions I've seen where people will like track the same part like 5 times and have like 2 harmonies where like those are all tracked 5 times, and you don't even necessarily have to go that far. Doing like 2 or 3 layers would be like plenty. But yeah, I think that could really help create sort of like like I said, sort of wall of vocals, which is kind of what I envision with this kind of stuff.
But not today.
Pussy nigga wanna talk shit, stop it. Bitch, I'm coming in like a Glock, pop it. You can call me Johnny cause you know a nigga rockin'. Cream with the sauce, got a bunch of fucking options. Be happy, get up out of nigga face or you be capped. Keep it like the green cause I
love this.
Heat a pussy like a zag if they keep acting. Don't give a fuck, I'm a problem. Bitch, I keep it running like a diagnostic. Niggas act loud like they wanna start shit. Shut a nigga down when I sock them. Getting cozy, let's get situated. Call me yay cause I got the status. I'm the greatest, there is no debaters. Tune into it if you want the latest. Wait.
You try to stand up straight.
Yeah, I absolutely, the ad libs in that section are fantastic. Whoa, my stream is being weird. Okay, but yeah, the ad libs in that section are fantastic. fantastic. I love all the stuff that's going on around while like there's the rapping going on and whatnot. A TikTok trend actually. Yeah, it does sound like a song that I can see as a TikTok trend. Fuck yeah. And I think that yeah, so far the only thing I have to say is the layering of vocals. I think that more than anything it would help the impact of the chorus coming in, those singing vocals having like a layer of like several layers of that like just coming in would be really powerful.
But now you're falling down to I said I'm yours, but not to.
I think you could also afford to pump the snare up a little bit more. You might even you might add something like a I mean different producers will do different things, but they'll add like sounds that aren't actually snare drums. Like I mean Joey Sturgis does like shotgun sounds and glass breaking and whatnot and all this different stuff. But I think you could afford to pump the snare a little bit more in the chorus. Just give a little bit of strength to the backbeat.
Stand up straight, but now you're falling down to I said I'm yours, but not today. Stand up straight, but now you're falling down to I said I'm yours, but not today.
Hell yeah. That was really good, Link. I don't know if you're here in the chat or not. But yeah. Love the chip tuning arpeggios. Yeah, I think that track is really good, and I think everything I think the instrumentation is really solid, and I think the vocal performances are exactly what they need to be, like as far as like takes and whatnot. Just heard the Groovy Salami interview. Good stuff. Thanks. Yeah, that was a fun interview. We're happy we got to come on. It was a pretty nice experience. Yeah, Link, if you see this, the only thing I have to say about this as advice is maybe in the chorus pump the snare and then the drums a little bit more. Either you could either like reinforce it with some samples of like different sounds, or just add a little bit more to the EQ and compression, and layering the vocals a little bit more, because I think it would benefit from sounding like a blanket of vocals just like washing over whenever the chorus comes. But everything about that was really cool, and I really like it. Those are some good tracks for the first submissions. But yeah. I appreciate everybody who submitted the tracks, and I appreciate you all for showing up. So I'm gonna call it here for the Music Monday stream. Jonas will not be streaming at 5. I think that there's still some complications with their setup. But I think that I'm going to stream a little bit later. I think I'm gonna switch over and probably play like Monster Hunter or something. I'll post on Twitter though, and I appreciate everybody showing up though. Of course, Thrillby, it's no problem, and good job on it. I very much like that, and I'm happy that I got to hear it and put it on stream. But yeah, everybody go check out Thrillby's music. Let me see if I can find. What was the? I'm trying to see if they have a page that I can. Well. Oh yeah. So yeah, there's Thrillby's Bandcamp. Definitely check that out. I don't have a link for link stuff. But if I do manage to get one, I'll be happy to share it. Like I said, y'all, I'm gonna get off for now. I'm gonna go eat something, do a few things, and then I'll probably be back to stream some Monster Hunter a little bit later. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for showing up. Hope that this was a good and helpful episode. And yeah, well, next week we're gonna be trying to do. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do next week, but I have a feeling I want to start doing and creating stuff to like put stems out and whatnot. Pretty soon though, I might be mixing some other music on here, which will provide a lot of stuff to teach and whatnot, and it'll hype up some stuff that the rest of Glass Beach might be involved in. But yeah, appreciate it. I'll see y'all in probably a couple hours at most. But yeah, thank you all for showing up. Bye bye.